This video will highlight just some of the reports found in the DispatchMate software. DispatchMate has many available reports for each type of user and transport company. These reports range from operations to accounting and administration and allow you to see current and historical data. Each report contains many filters to determine the exact criteria when running the report. The typical filters available are based on date ranges, different statuses, divisions, and user filters, as well as contact and geographic filters. Once the criteria has been entered and we run the report, the data is also presented in many different ways with the tabs along the top. In the first one, we usually see the expanded detailed data, and then as we move along, we can see the totals of the data summarized either through calculations or visually in different graphs. Fleets would focus mainly on the gross margin and trip reports. In the gross margin by revenue, this allows us to allocate the revenue and the cost of our orders and our trips. This can be split equally based on the number of legs of an order or based on the relative distance if the distance has been calculated on the orders and the trips. Once we enter the criteria and run the report, the gross margin is then calculated where we can clearly see the revenue and cost and the total margin of each order, along with the grand total and the average margin at the top. The trip carrier driver settlement report allows us to see driver pay based on a certain date range. Once we enter that criteria, here we can see a very detailed listing of everything the driver is being paid, and this can also be printed off and given to each driver so they have a copy. We can also see the summary, so for administration, they can see the pay totals of each driver and or carrier. Many carriers also use the customer order contracts report. This report allows you to see contracts or master orders and the orders which have been generated from it. We see the orders in great detail, along with the estimated and actual departure and arrival dates and times. A new addition to this report is the ability to update the freight information. This can come in handy if additional information or corrected information about the freight is obtained after the order has been completed. Here we can update all of these orders in a batch process. Other recommended reports for carriers are the driver reports, and here we can see their documentation as well as their history or summary of what they've been assigned. The trip revenue distance report, where we can view the revenue per mile or kilometer. The routing summary, where the percentage of empty and loaded mileage is summarized. And the trip tracing, where we can see an overview of all the different trips and their different statuses. In regards to logistics reporting, this would typically focus on the customer order and carrier reports. The main report for logistics is the customer order profitability report. When we run this report, like the others, we can see it in great detail in the data tab, and then it's condensed further through the different tabs, such as the order tab, where we see one line per order, the customer tab, where we can see the total number of orders and the total revenue and margin for each customer, and also by sales rep and grand totals. The carrier performance report and carrier lane search are also often used by logistics users to be able to find a carrier or view the price history in the customer order price history report. Here we can enter a specific origin and destination combination, and we can see a carrier which has done that lane for us, along with how much the customer was charged and how much was paid out to that carrier. This lets you quickly find a carrier that has done a similar order and the cost that has been paid out, so that can be quoted accordingly. There's currently over 90 reports available in the software, and the administrator can decide who has access to each report. Most of these reports can also be printed, faxed, emailed, as well as exported to Excel with the buttons along the bottom. And this concludes the video presenting just some of the reports in the software. For more information, visit our website and request a demo, or call or email us. All that information is available in the video description. Thank you.